In the Pycharm, you can even notice that you can get console at the bottom. So it already, you are in the directory PyLadies L, and in the virtual environment, there is a different Python console as well, and this is the terminal. And you can use other services for your Docker as well, which I can explain in the next presentation during the next meetup in detail.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes?
Yes, please mute yourself.
Do you have any questions? Okay, for this meetup, I request you to install these stuff in your system. If you're using Linux, you need the first 3 commands. For Mac OS, you need to install MongoDB, and you want to run the Mongo community. That's MongoDB server, and you need to install Flask-PyMongo. Okay, so let's start with the Flask app. So Flask is like,
Sorry to interrupt you. Someone asked a question.
Yeah.
So do we just start by typing the commands as you have from the top if MongoDB is already installed?
Sorry, what's the question?
If MongoDB is already installed, shall people just start with pip install past Flask-PyMongo?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Someone is asking if you can post the commands in the chat so people can just copy, paste, and install things while you're moving on. Thank you so much.
No worries. Actually, even I'm new with this virtual meetup, so yeah.
That's fine. We appreciate you taking the time. So I know it's a bit weird, so thank you. Yeah, please go on.
So let's begin with close the chat. So let's begin with the Flask app. So Flask is like your application need an API so that it can interact with the internet. So you can get and post requests through your internet. So we are using Flask here. So if you have Flask installed in your system, we need to import all these libraries from Flask. And we need PyMongo, and Mongo client is like a client by which you are connecting Mongo database to your Flask application. And the third one I will explain as we proceed with the application. So I want everybody to try this app with me. And if you want me to wait, please let me know in the chat, or else I will continue. Here we are initializing the Flask application. And in this, in Mongo database, you have to use the Mongo client to connect to the database through Studio 3T. So here we are using Studio 3T to connect to the Mongo. And this will be the database name. PyLadies is your database name. So I will switch to Studio 3T to explain you what these two things are. So if you go to your Studio 3T, if you go to File, Connect, you will see a dialog box, something like this. Ignore the whatever it's here already. You can ignore that. You can start with new connection, and default it will take a local database. You can name it as PyLadies L. And you can save it. And to connect, so by default, you are connected with admin, config, and local. So this is actually your Mongo client, which is connecting to the Mongo database. We haven't created a database yet. To create a database, you have to right click and add database. And we'll create a database called PyLadies. So this is normally a structure in Mongo database, which is a bit different from what we use in SQL, MySQL. Mongo database is like document oriented, unlike SQL, which is like structure oriented. And in Mongo database, you will find the data not in the form of tables, but in the form of documents like JSON files. And it is called as collection here and not tables like MySQL. So if you right click here, you say add collection, and here we can create collection called book. We will create our first document which is in the form of JSON. So here we have first document in our database PyLadies. So just remember the structure that you have database and you have collection and you have documents. So I will switch back to Pycharm. So now you get what is a client. We are connecting to the localhost client, and then we are connecting to PyLadies database, which is the database. Any questions, or anyone want me to wait till they want to explore or something?
I think we can go on, and then people can rewatch the video.
Okay, yeah. What errors do you have? Okay.
For errors, it would help if you would share your screen, because it's impossible to debug something if we can't see it. So we can either move on and you can try again with the recording, or if you want Trupti to help you, we will need to see your screen probably. Right.
Yeah, you need to install Flask as well, and then Flask-PyMongo. Sorry if I failed to say that, sorry. Yeah, you need Flask as well. Yes, you can install in the terminal of Pycharm because it will be convenient for you, as you have already environment set as Python 3. So you can install in this terminal. Sorry about that. Or else later after this session, you can share the screen and we can have a brief chat about the errors. We will try to solve it. Okay, I will proceed with the application. So in this, app root is like a decorator in Python. So decorator is like you add some functionality to the Python functions, or more functionality to the existing Python functions. So app.root is a Python decorator which tells what request to send to the internet. So here we are sending the get request, and this will be the URL to hit for the get request. And we are using a simple get all books function where we are actually connecting to the database and then the book collection over here. We are saving all the books in as a list. And we are then printing in the form of JSON with the book name and the pages of the book. The next request is the post request. Okay, yeah. So you can find this highlighted line. So that's the beauty of black, which I've installed in Pycharm, which tells you that this format of the code is not as per pepate. So if I select reformat file, it will properly give another line to the code and make it more readable and properly as per pepate. So that's the beauty of Pycharm. If you have all the plugins necessary, it will reformat your code as per necessary pepate guidelines. So here again, the app.root is a Python decorator, and here we are using the post request to post from your application to the database. So here we are sending the data to the database to save in the database. So again, we are using the JSON format as MongoDB uses the document in the form of JSON. We are sending the name and the pages of the book we want to post, we want to add. And this is the normal PyMongo query with the Mongo database. So book.insert and book.find is the PyMongo query. The next request is to search a particular name from the database. Oh, I haven't pushed anything to GitHub yet, but I can push this code and later you can have this code. I didn't push it now because I wanted everyone to type with me so that it will be better for you to understand each and every line. Yes, you can use the code and you can rename the stuff as per your database. So you can change the book as per whatever you have in the database. Sorry, you said that, okay, if I have made, okay. Yes, if you have created database the way I created in the Studio 3T, you can use this code and it can work for you as well. The next request is to search book by its name. So we can search Agatha Christie and we can get the request back. We can see the book. We can get the book from the Mongo.
I'm going to the bath because they've already got washing dishes as well. There'll be more of a bottom.
Oh, I'm going to have one.
So this is the query to get one result from Mongo, find one. And when you want to get multiple values from the database, multiple documents from the database, you need find. And what dumps does here, which we have imported here, it dumps in the form of JSON and it prints in the Postman, which I can show you shortly. And finally, like we have a main function, here we are saying that do not run this code do not run unless the main function is called. So only when there is main, the entire application is run. And you can debug through to see what all the errors you're facing while running the application. Otherwise, you can say debug false. Because you want to see the result in the Postman in the form of JSON this way, which I will explain shortly. Oh, glad to know. So now to run the application, you can switch to the terminal below. For every virtual environment, I need to install this differently. So as I created a different virtual environment for this project, I need to install everything from scratch over here. So here our application is running and it will tell you where it is running. So if you go to this URL, you can go to your browser, or if you have Postman installed, I will show you how you can see in the Postman. So here we get the result. So we are getting all the books which is in the Mongo database. So this is the get request. Now, if I want to get only a particular book, I think it's search. So here I get the result in the form of JSON. I want to dump it in the form of JSON here in Postman. So I created like this. So let us try to add more documents in Studio 3T. And now post request, we want to send data to database. So we will switch to post over here. And I think this is add now. And we have to go to body. Book added successfully. Now, if I go to Mongo, if I refresh view, I can see the book added over here. Are you all with me, or want me to wait for you to try this? I can switch back to the code if you guys want to test the code, and I can close the terminal so that you can have a look at the code. Okay, so I was talking about one of the plugin in Pycharm, which is CodeStream. So CodeStream is like GitHub. So instead of pushing everything on GitHub and waiting for someone to say any changes to your code. This is like you can make this code available on a network. For example, if you guys are working on a network in office, this code will be on a network and your team will be connected to a network, and you can comment on this code and your team members can view your comments and make the changes. For example, if I highlight this, I won't comment here because I'm actually connected to the office, my office network. So I won't be commenting anything. I will just show you how you can do it. So if you now select code stream, add comment, so you can see something like this. And there is alerting system on Slack as well. So your team members will get alerts on Slack chat box. And you can then modify your code and share with your team how it can be, your project can be made better, how the code can be made better. So this is a convenient way to share with your team before committing to GitHub. So the plugin is called CodeStream, which you can just go to Preferences, and you can install all your plugins over here. The other one I said is black. I feel it saves time because this is more quick, because you can just comment and your team members can get the alert then and there, instead of committing and waiting, sending a PR and then waiting for your team members to go to the PR and review your code. So I think this is a bit quick. That's all. That's all the advantage for CodeStream. And you can use this if you don't want to push it on GitHub and just want to discuss over a meeting or anything. So this is more convenient for that. If the project is not ready for pushing to GitHub, so this is more reliable at that time. Yes, yes, there are history as well. So all the comments will have history, and you can go to the history and view the comments. I think with the comments, there are other stuff as well. We have been mostly using for commenting, so we haven't explored it much. Create issue, yeah, you can create an issue, add comments. So I will show you some shortcuts which you can explore as per your operating system. And even if you're convenient with one particular operating system, you can set it by going to Preferences and Key Map, where you can select the keyboard format you want for Pycharm. If you're comfortable with Mac OS, Linux, or Windows, you can select over here. So if it's Mac OS, if we want to do find and replace a word, it's Command R, find and replace. Command Shift F to search in the entire project. Command Shift F. And Pycharm even has built-in GitHub. I think it's not visible in the window. Shit. Okay, I haven't pushed it to GitHub, so it's not visible for me. But once I make it a GitHub repo of this, it will show you here as a GitHub repository, and then you can just click here, do the merge and the git difference and everything. Instead of using like git diff command, you can directly hover over here, and it will show you all the GitHub functionalities. Shift and tab to take it behind, and normal tab to take it a proper indentation. And then command arrow, right or left. And if you want to comment any line, it's command and the slash, it's backslash. So Postman is very convenient if you want to test any APIs, and it's very reliable. Even if you have your company existing API URL, you can just import here and test all the requests over Postman, and it's free. It's completely free, so it's very good. And switching back to Studio 3T, I will explain you more how you can use it apart from just the database. So you can write queries over Mongo Studio 3T. So here there is a console called IntelliShell. So you can type your queries over here. So if I want to search I get the result over here. Even there is something called Visual Query Builder. If you select that, you can just drag and drop the ID. So you can see the three different stuff. So if you can see if it is equal to that ID, you can see if it includes that rule, and you can sort it as per pages. And if we run this, you get the result over here. If you have an existing database, you can import here in the form of any formats. So these are all document formats: JSON, CSV, SQL, BSON. So any questions? I hope my presentation was helpful for everyone, and hope I was clear with everything. If you guys have any queries, any questions, please feel free to question, or please feel free to ask. And if you guys are stuck with any errors, let me know. If you want to share your screen and want me to solve anything, just let me know. That's all, Amy. That's all, Anna, sorry.
Thank you so much, Trupti. Thank you for your time and for doing this. I know it's extra challenging to do it virtually when you can't see people, so I appreciate it. Does anyone have any questions at the moment?
Yes, I can send the video. I can send this code as well, so you guys can follow the code and follow the video, and hope that will be fine. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to send message through the meetup chat, and I can solve your queries anytime. No problem at all.
There is one question. Is there any free IDEs for MongoDB?
Not I'm aware of. I think I will just go through any good IDs if I know, if my team knows, and I will get back on the meetup page.
Also, if you are,
but Studio 3T is more reliable and is more convenient for Mongo database, and it's basically built for Mongo database. So yeah, but I will definitely search this and get back to you.
Okay. Also, I know that the Pycharm folks often run promotions, or sometimes they're able to provide a couple of free codes. So there is a way to get Pycharm for free if you wait for the right time, if I may say so. For the video, I will post it tomorrow in meetup.com, and Trupti, if you can send me the code once you've had a time to upload it to GitHub, I will also include it. Someone just said RoboMongo is free. I've never heard of that, but
yeah, RoboMongo is like a package which has Studio 3T as well in it, but I wasn't sure that it is free or not. If it's free, it's really good. And RoboMongo is like a package of everything, so that's actually good. Yeah.
okay. Also, Lila posted a link for Compass, which is a tool for query and visualizing in Mongo. So that might be worth checking out. And then there's a question by Gemma. Do you have experience debugging the request and objects?
I'm not sure about the question. What does that mean? Opposed to passing? Okay, I am not used to much with Django, so I'm not sure about the question, but I will just write it down and get back to you.
All right, any other questions? Oh, 30% discount on Pycharm. Yeah, they often run promotions with either the Django Software Foundation or the Python Software Foundation. So if you purchase it during that time, you get the product for a discount, and you also support those foundations. So good point actually to purchase it through one of those promotions. Thank you, Jen. Do we have any other questions? If not, then I will close it for here. Do let me know if you would be interested in more virtual meetups, and I can see what we can make happen. Hopefully this won't go on for much longer, but we don't know. So if you were interested in another meetup, maybe in a couple of weeks, a virtual one, let me know and we can make that happen. Yeah, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you again, Trupti, and we'll be in touch. So thank you, everyone. I'll see you all soon.
Yes, thank you. And I have written all the questions, so I will answer you on the meetup page. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Trupti. Bye-bye.
Bye.